Welcome to CosmoFactory, a podcast by Cosmoprof Worldwide Bologna, where we explore the entire cosmetics, personal care, and fragrance industry supply chain. I'm your host, Deanna Utrusky, and here at CosmoFactory, we look beyond the trends to discover the ideas, initiatives, and innovations that are truly advancing beauty. Let's get started. This episode is about aromatherapy and just-in-time skincare production. It's about the neurocosmetic attributes of essential oils, about solid facial cleansers, and about the role that scent plays in human health and in the appearance of our skin. On today's episode of the CosmoFactory podcast, my guest is Young-ok Bok, CEO at Mesacosa. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. My name is Young-ok Bok. I'm CEO of Mesacosa, but please call me Katarina.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Catalina. I will be sure to do that. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here on the podcast today.
Thank you for allowing me to join this podcast. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Let's start, if you don't mind, with some very basic information. Just tell us, what is aromatherapy?
Okay. Aromatherapy is a therapy method using medicinal plant extract. We call essential oil, and then with this essential oil, we breathe or we apply to our skin, or so this kind of thing. And then this as aroma from the medicinal plant extract goes into your body and affect you emotionally, psychologically, and then physically as well.
Mm-hmm.
So makes our body healthy and then emotionally peaceful and happy.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Excellent. That's a very helpful definition to start with. I'm wondering if you can also explain for us just a bit the difference then between what we would think of as a scented cosmetics product, something that has a nice fragrance to it, and then products that are made using the principles of aromatherapy. What really distinguishes one from the other?
Yes, aromatherapy product is this aroma is come from natural medicinal plant like basil or coriander, something like we eat every day. So this extract goes into our body and then acting very similar way to food from the food when we eat. But artificial programs, we said, artificial chemical goes into our body and act some bit differently.
Yeah, it sounds like the mechanism of action that maybe a hydrosol or even a synthesized fragrance input might have is somewhat different from what an essential oil or a medicinal extract has. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
I want to say, yes, I think very similar. I want to say, when you have your child, and I don't know, just want to, I don't know, I just want to explain something. When you have your child, we let them eat very good food rather than the, what can I say, the junk food.
Right. Over processed foods, or we would call them junk foods. Yes.
Yes. Junk food is not really good for their health. Something like that. I can say that it is very similar way. The aroma is for very good food, good for our health. But the artificial chemical or fragrance we can say it's junk food, something like that. But some comparison, I don't know. I don't know how to explain, but suddenly in my hand, I thought, because when I think about cosmetic, I also think about this cosmetic is a food for not only for our skin but also our body. It's when we apply cosmetic, this cosmetic goes into our body. So same as food, when we eat food, we try to eat something good for our health. We normally do that. And then we try to not to eat much of junk food, something like that. Yeah, I think it's very similar.
Yes, yes. No, that's a helpful analogy. Thank you. Um, as I understand it, aromatherapy can actually have what we would describe as neurocosmetic benefits. Do you have an example of that you can share? And if you happen to have any clinical data or anecdotal evidence of those sorts of neurocosmetic benefits, that would be helpful.
Actually, there's plenty of the research article regarding this neuropsychological effect onto our body. There is many articles, so I can't say only one or two. But actually, when the aroma came into our body through the system, it goes into our brain, our limbic system, actually, and then it gives some signal to our hypothalamus and then pituitary gland. Through the pituitary gland and the hypothalamus, whole our body will react or absorb this chemical from the aroma from the medicinal plant extract, and then it's absorbed into body, and then it act. Neurological effect is definitely there is. And then there's a numerous article about that.
Yeah, can you share maybe what some of the benefits might be?
There was an article I recognize, I recall now, and that this article was written by a professor at the university in Japan, actually, and then he did some experimental study using the aromatherapy essential oil. He used the small mouse. Yes, and then this mouse, when after getting much big stress onto the mouse, after that he gave some aroma. He At that time he used the rose and tuberose and lock rose essential oil, and then also lemon essential oil, something like that. And then the other part is nothing, didn't give anything.
Right.
And then two groups showed very different, because one group has the essential oil in it. Their mouse was recovered very quickly, and then their immune system goes up, and then they are acting as a normal and a very it looks like happy. But the
Yes.
other group, when they after the too much stress, and then just left as it was, and then their group of the mouse was very sick, and then very weak in the immune system, something like that. So these experimenters just I had in my mind, but there's a more
Sure.
research out there. And then I have my article, actually. I
Yes, tell
wrote
us about this.
yeah, I studied the lavender essential oil and then rosemary essential oil when I studied in a psychology study at University of Plymouth in UK. And then at that time, I carried on some experiment study. And then after the study, I found that the lavender essential oil makes people really relaxed, and then without very less stress, whilst the rosemary essential oil make people feel more alert, they wake up, and then they can concentrate more.
Yes, more alert.
So this different action is proved that many more other article was in the field, and then it proved again. So after this study, as a result, I got a bachelor degree in psychology. So it was really my study. I don't know why didn't I think about this at the beginning.
Yes,
So
no, and that's exactly why I'm asking you these sorts of questions. I know you have a tremendous
okay.
academic and professional background in the space for sure. So I'm just curious. I hadn't really thought of this before, but essential oils can evaporate very quickly. Are you able to see once a scent is gone, do the benefits of aromatherapy continue, or does it have to be present as a scent?
Let's talk about the food again.
Yeah.
When we eat food, food remains into our body, inside our body, and then after the digestion, the completely goes out. Same way, the aroma from the essential oil came into our body, and then the aroma will remain. Uh, Normally, our blood circulation, cardiovascular system, blood into our
Yes.
blood. When we breathe, the chemical from the aroma came into our body, and then from the lung, it absorbed into our blood system.
Mm.
And the blood system goes around our body, and then it affects our physically and emotionally everything. And then the chemical, the aroma goes out from our body
Mhm.
within 24 hours.
Okay.
So when we uh, when we smell aroma essential oil, it already goes into our limbic system and then our body, our
Mhm.
lung.
Mhm.
So even if you don't hold this essential oil bottle, it already into our body. So
Interesting.
mm. So
Yeah,
it
no, but that
here
food
as well.
analogy is still a good one, right? Your body is somehow digesting or processing that aromatherapy.
That's the same way, actually.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
food, it goes onto our body with a digestive system, but the essential oil goes into our body through the neurological system, nervous system, and then also hormone system
Mhm.
as well. So both, and also the respiratory system as well. So through these system, anyway, the aroma goes our body, goes into our
Yes.
body. So
Yes.
that's why I thought aromatherapy is very important to adopt cosmetics as well, because we humans, we use cosmetic every day.
Right, right. No, absolutely. And let's talk a bit about that. I promised our listeners at the beginning that we would discuss solid skincare. And the company that you lead, called Mesacosa, owns multiple brands. One of them is Salveo Cosmetics. And you have a product line under Salvio Cosmetics that I would say puts a very thoughtful twist on conventional bar soaps. I'm hoping you can tell us about the line that you have of solid facial cleansers. Can you describe that for us?
Yeah, when we cleanse our skin,
Mhm.
I found that normally the ladies using cleansing foam
Mhm.
instead of cleansing soaps. Uh, Cleansing foam is really harsh to your skin. I mean, cleansing foam cleanse your skin very thoroughly, make it very clean. But in this way, this foam makes the oil from skin also take it out, and very dry, can make our skin dry. But normally when we get older, our skin tends to dry rather than oily.
Mhm.
So we need to take care about our moisture, our skin. And then, so when I make soaps, I think about the skin type as well. When you have very oily skin, I think I should be care about your skin oil more. When you have dry skin, I think the moisturizing skin is very important, something like that. So when
Sure.
I make a soaps, I use different kind of vegetable oil,
Mhm.
depends on which skin type.
Mhm.
And then also depends on the skin type. There is some kind of we need some therapeutic under the Salveo brand. There is 6 different soaps. So one for the dry and mature skin,
Mhm.
one for the acne prone skin, and then one for dry and problematic skin,
Okay.
something like. And then the normal skin as well. And then
Mhm.
also there is a soap for sensitive and or the baby skin as well. So there's 6 different soaps for each skin type.
Yeah. So maybe
For
tell us maybe about sensitive skin soap
right.
or dry skin soap.
Uh,
What are the
okay.
aromatherapy ingredients there?
For sensitive skin, I use only coconut oil and then calendula oil.
Okay.
Make these soaps with very soft oil, and then I put frankincense and myrrh essential oil. So
Mhm. And
that myrrh,
tell us why those oils belong in a sensitive skin cleanser.
for frankincense and myrrh essential oil, it's very good. Very, I can say it used since Jesus came. When baby Jesus born, the wise man from Doctor wise man presented frankincense and myrrh and gold for the baby Jesus, and these gifts. I believe that those are very good for baby Jesus and a very what can I say the very high valued the oil and then the material,
Mhm.
and then good for the skin healing as well. So from the history background, I choose frankincense and myrrh essential oil into this sensitive skin, because the um, sensitive skin can tend to get very, very, very sensitive and very, can I say weak? Can I say weak? Like baby skin.
Right. More fragile,
Talk about
maybe.
it. Yes,
More
but yes,
delicate.
yes. The body, yeah. Thank you very much for your body. More delicate and more fragile. So I use the more essential oil and then frankincense as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. And can you give us an example of one other? Maybe you were saying there's a soap for a very dry skin. What are the essential oils there?
Dry skin and dry, and there are 2 soaps for dry and mature skin,
Okay.
or dry and problematic skin. Dry and mature skin is for aging person
Hmm.
with dry skin like me.
No, or like me, and we're both aging.
And then some people, so maybe even younger person, very dry with some kind of dermatitis,
Hmm.
something like atopic dermatitis or something like. Normally, this dermatitis or atopic dermatitis, this kind of symptom is from very dry skin and the stress environment.
Hmm.
So these are very completely different ingredient I use. Uh, because for dry and mature skin, I use rosehip oil and Saint John's wort oil, something like that, and the
Okay.
baobab oil to make soaps. However, when I make dry and when I make other soap, which is for dry with problematic skin, I use I use the avocado and tamanu vegetable oil to use to make the soaps,
Hmm.
because treating the problematic skin with very dry, the avocado and tamanu is the best to
Okay.
treat to
Yes. Yes.
care
No,
about.
those are very good examples. Thank you. Thank you. That's very helpful. I do want to just take a little moment out of our conversation to mention we know there are so many exciting innovations in terms of solid skincare, like we've been talking about your solid soap style facial cleansers, but there are many other sort of solid and waterless products in this space. So for everyone listening, I just want to mention, if you're curious about solid skincare, after you finish this episode, you might want to go back and listen to episode 18 of the CosmoFactory podcast. And in that episode, I got to interview a formulation chemist as well as a marketing expert from the manufacturing company called OPOC, and we talk about solid skincare there. So if that's fascinating to you, please do go back and check that out when we finish. Uh, but with you, Katerina, I'm hoping to hear a bit more about the Salveo line of facial cleansers that you have. You've told me that you're manufacturing the cleansing bars using what we would call on-demand or just-in-time manufacturing. Help us think about the advantages of this type of production.
I make cosmetic when I get order, only for skincare, this cream, serum, and toner.
Okay,
For handmade soaps, for me, it took 2 months to complete process.
sure.
So, so this soap making, I make all the times without any order.
Okay, so the soap style facial cleansers, you're not doing on demand, but with your serums and other products you are. Help us think about that on demand option.
By avoiding synthetic preservatives, the shelf life of my cosmetic is very short.
Right.
So to ensure the freshness, I produce each product to order. That's why from the beginning I thought that I make my product when I get order. So
Hmm.
this method allowing me to deliver the highest quality with fresh state to my
Hmm.
customers.
Hmm.
So yeah, so this method may be not really practical, but I don't know. It's I don't know. In the future, if there's a many inquiry from buyers and then business partner from the 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 global market. So in the future, maybe I need to expand my cosmetic or manufacturing the capacity. But if necessary, I needed to expansion my company. But still, I believe that producing products after receiving orders will remain the best approach for ensuring their freshness and quality.
Hmm.
So I don't know, I will try to keep this belief.
Yes, yes. No, and I think, it's interesting because you have a very particular reason for using what we think of as on-demand or just-in-time manufacturing. But we see lots of other reasons showing up. Some companies are using this type of production as a way to reduce waste. If something's
Oh,
not
yeah.
sitting in the warehouse for too long, then they know sort of how to manage demand. It's a different way to manage consumer demand and keep up in that regard. So I think it's becoming more popular, and there are certainly technologies, right, to help make it much more practical. Both as you're suggesting in terms of product volume and scale, if you have large orders to fill, but also just, in terms of yeah, in terms of efficiency, I think just-in-time manufacturing is becoming much more possible and much more practical as well. So it'll be interesting to watch with your brand and with many others for sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your comment. And then, yeah, I feel very happy to recognize my method. Maybe it's very practical. And then it's getting,
Yes.
yeah, it's very good. Good. Thank you.
Yes. No, it makes good sense. You're welcome. And I know that you're at work on another, maybe it's a line of skincare that you're planning to launch. I think you told me in early 2025 that's focused on acne care. Can you talk about what you're developing there?
Um, yes, I'd like to talk about the acne care line as well. Um, to care about acne skin, I thought the antibacterial and then antivirus effect is very good for to care about the acne prone skin, but also we need to care about the moisturizing and then the skin
Yes, the sebum.
sebum of the skin. So to control the sebum and then the also moisturizing skin, also the antibacterial the effect, I I use tea tree water and tea tree essential oil, lavender and thyme essential oil as well. So these combination will be of very good beneficial to acne skin. And then also I'm thinking about, no, not thinking about, I use the black cumin oil and then the moringa and neem oil as well. Those oil is very good for skin. the acne skin.
Mm-hmm.
There is a numerous article about the effect of the moringa or neem oil
Mm-hmm.
to against acne-prone skin. So with these raw material, I make the acne skincare lines cosmetics, and then I believe it will be very good for the teenager skin or who have some problem with acne.
Sure. And is this skincare also in bar format? Is it like a soap, or is this a more conventional liquid line of skincare products?
Actually, I have uh, all the threes. The first of all, you the wash your skin with acne soaps,
Mhm.
acne soap for acne skin type,
So
and then
the
after
cleanser
that,
is a bar.
yeah, yes, bar
Okay.
soaps. After that, you need acne toner for skin tone, tone. And then there's a serum
Hmm.
and a skin cream as well. And the final stage, uh, before you go to bed, I urge you to use acne facial oil as well. So there's
Okay.
a 5 different type of the product.
Hmm. Hmm. No,
So
that makes very good sense to have the full routine and different
yeah.
formats. So we were talking earlier about the Salveo Cosmetics brand in particular, and I believe that's a brand that you export. But the brands, Salveo Cosmetics, as well as others from Mesacosa, are sold in Korea also. Is that correct? And Korea is where you're based.
Yes, yes. Because I'm based in Korea, I sell this product in Korea as well as if exporting it to no, mostly the European country.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm just maybe asking this question for other brand leaders who are listening and maybe watching the consumer beauty marketplace in Korea. Is there anything you can tell us about the market trends or the consumer expectations in Korea today?
In Korea, we also concerned about the environment
Hmm.
and also for the good for, which is good for our body. So in no many Korean people they concerned about the artificial chemical and
Okay.
then synthetic preservatives as well.
Hmm.
So my cosmetic, especially beauty trend, is for neuro cosmetic and then side care cosmetic. So since this kind of the trend, uh, also in Korea,
Hmm.
same as the European country or the Western
Yes.
people.
Yes, we've been
Yeah.
talking a lot about
Mhm.
wellness as a
Yes.
global trend recently, and
Mm.
it seems like
Yes, that's
that,
right. That's
as
right.
you said,
Same as in Korea.
sustainability, but yeah,
Mm.
interest. You've told me in earlier conversations that we've had that aromatherapy as a discipline has been significant in Korea for maybe 25 years. And I think I even mentioned it earlier here, that your personal academic research and your work in the beauty industry encompasses both aromatherapy, but also traditional Korean medicine. And you have mentioned some of the essential oils coming from or being medicinal extracts as well. But I'm hoping you can help us understand how aromatherapy and traditional medicine overlap. How are they similar? How are they different?
All right. Yes. But aromatherapy uh, is using essential oil, and then these essential oils are extract of medicinal plants, and then traditional Korean medicine and also traditional Chinese medicine as well. Those medicine is using from medicinal plant as well. So base in the baseline, both aromatherapy and Korean traditional medicine, we all use medicinal plant. The difference between the aromatherapy and then Korean medicine is the uh, method method of extraction and then difference in application.
Hmm.
The aromatherapy essential oil we extract from medicinal plant through stem distillation or the sparklet method, something like. and then apply onto our skin, or
Mhm.
we just breathe in into our skin, into our body.
Mhm.
But the traditional Korean medicine and then Chinese traditional medicine, something like these kind of medicine method using the medicinal plant, some kind of boiling, something boil and then some eat it, drink
Okay.
through our digestive system. So a different method of extraction and different method of application, something like that. Or we
Yes.
all use the same medicinal plant. The
Okay.
root is the same.
Yes. Oh, that's wonderful. No, thank you for explaining that. And maybe you can tell me a little bit then also about how your knowledge of medicine influences the way that you develop consumer brands and formulate skincare. I imagine you're not only thinking about aromatherapy when you're choosing your ingredients or formulations, but you're borrowing from both fields. How does that work for you?
Yes, actually, we all know the in Korean in Korea, we all know the ginseng is very good for our skin, our body,
Mhm.
and then also Angelica. You know Angelica. Angelica is very good for our body as well, especially for women's health. It's very good for women's health, and then the blood system, make it make detoxifying our body, something like. So these two, the medicinal plant, so already a famous medicinal plant to eat. Uh,
Sure.
So these I in into our cosmetic I use ginseng and angelica as well,
Hmm.
because applying onto our skin is also important. I think the cosmetic as a food.
What I'm hearing you say is that ingredients that are very well known for their
Mhm.
benefits in traditional Korean medicine
Yeah.
are ones that you're also selecting then for skincare benefits. And if the customer is familiar with the advantages they have as a medicine, they're more excited to see them in their skincare. And we see this in all sorts of markets, right? We know if there's an ingredient in the beverage space or functional foods, people are also seeing it in skincare. We think about superfoods all the time or certain supplements, right? Sometimes they start as a skincare product and then we see them as an ingestible supplement or a pill. And sometimes it works the other way around. People see a supplement and then they want it as a topical product as well. So this makes perfect sense. Yes.
Thank you very much. My English was very terrible, but you understood very well.
No, you make
Wonderful.
good sense.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Mm.
think I have maybe just one more question for you. There's an expression in our industry, right, that we hear quite often, and that is beauty comes from within. And of course, this expression can be interpreted in many ways. It can mean different things to different people. And we know, of course, we're speaking to a global audience here that different regulatory guidelines for cosmetics and medical products in some markets around the world make it very clear, right? This is skincare, this is medicine. They're very separate in certain marketplaces. But you've told me before that physical and mental health should be the basis for beautiful and healthy skin. Which reminds me of that expression, right? Beauty comes from within. I'm hoping you can explain that quote of yours in terms of what it means for your brands and what you hope it means for beauty consumers as well.
Yes, I believe that true beauty starts with physical and emotional wellness. When people are healthy inside and out, the people naturally becomes radiant and beautiful. That's why I'm thinking is the raw material from medicinal plants is very important. And then with this belief, I prioritize healthy focused ingredients for my cosmetics.
Yeah, no,
So
it makes sense. It sounds like you're thinking about wellness more holistically, but knowing that it will then have a skincare benefit.
Yeah, that's right.
And I have to say thank you, Catalina. This has been a very interesting conversation. I've enjoyed speaking with you here on the CosmoFactory podcast. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for listening. If you find the CosmoFactory podcast useful, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review and share your thoughts so even more cosmetic industry professionals can discover the CosmoFactory. I'm Deanna Utrusky. Please join me again next Tuesday for a new episode of the CosmoFactory podcast.